Hey friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work, and thank you for joining in for our fireside chat here. Oh boy, looks like we're getting ready to get a little bit of rain here before the night's over. So let me do this before it starts pouring. Did a nice video with Philly 500 earlier this evening, and their playoff chances are basically on life support. They've got to beat the Washington Redskins that right now are a dumpster fire and hope that Minnesota loses. We're blessed that we actually are in the playoffs, and I'm ecstatic about it because all you want is an opportunity to get there. And I'm loving this team's attitude. Now, Jerry says you want to go in with momentum and things, and we're not resting starters, but the reality is there's going to be some people that are resting, and I think Zeke Elliott's not going to see that many carries, especially since he's already got the rushing title basically locked up. He's about 200 yards above the next person, so he's in great shape for that. And Zach Martin, he's there, working out, but I don't know that guy's going to play, or Tyron Smith and so on. But they'll rest some people selectively, and they probably won't play starters throughout the game. Maybe a couple series, maybe a quarter or something like that, because we want to have momentum, but we also want to go in there as healthy as possible for that first playoff game. And you got to be excited about it. I don't understand why so many people are so down on the team. Even if we do happen to lose it, at least we made the and had the opportunity to be there. What's amazing is I just try and understand the total dislike of Dak. And regardless of what statistic comes out, everybody will come up with a reason why that is crap. Doesn't pass the eye test. Well, the eye test can be wrong. Because here's what's interesting. You and I can both see the exact same thing and both have a different perspective of what happened. We could witness an accident, and it could look totally different to each of us. Because it's all about perspective. When you say something like, Eli Manning only had playoff wins in 2 years. Now, granted, those 2 years, they won 4 games and won the Super Bowl on teams that were, I believe, 9-7. The other years, one and done. You can look at Matty Ice and say, first 4 playoff seasons they went, they lost all 4 of those. He had one great run. They went to the Super Bowl and choked. So I hear one person said, Tony Romo is so much better than Dak. Dak has, only been to playoff one playoff run. Well, actually, this is 2 now because they're going to have playoffs this year. So 2 out of 3 of the times they've gone, 66% of the times he's made it to the playoffs. They said Tony Romo 6 times in the playoffs. Well, how many wins did we get? 2. Okay? So 50% of the time he played, we went to the playoffs. You bring up, well, if you look at quarterbacks like, say, Drew Brees or Troy Aikman or Ben Roethlisberger or Tom Brady, at this point in their careers, Dak's got more numbers than them. Of course, they'll say, well, different era. Passing is different. So it doesn't matter what you say. I think the Dallas Cowboys could go through, win the Super Bowl, and he still won't get any love. I can't understand it, but, I guess hate is just hate. I'm ready to get this regular season over. I'm ready to get on to the playoffs. I hope I'm not Charlie Brown. You know, Charlie Brown, I've referenced Charlie Brown so many times, but Charlie Brown, he always gets ready to kick the football, and he looks at Lucy like, you know, Lucy, you're not going to pull it away. And she's like, no, we're not going to do that to you. Yet he gets up there to kick it, and boom, he misses it. Jason Garrett always comes up with a theme every year. You know, we remember finish the fight and things like that. And I said finish the fight and coach better. This year, I believe it was redemption. And maybe that's the right term. Redemption. Could this be the year that finally we break through? Where after all these years, turn it down, it's kind of hot. After all these years of being in the playoffs, that we fail. One and done, even though we have a bye week. Could it be this year that we redeem ourselves? Because as you start to look at what's transpired on the field, you look at Chris Richard, who left Seattle because he was fired. You look at that guy and say, hey, he's definitely changed the narrative of a guy that got fired to a guy that should be a head coach. Redemption. You look at a guy like Randy Gregory, who had been suspended over and over and over again and only had one sack in his career and lost millions of dollars, but now is becoming an important cog to the Dallas Cowboys defense. Redemption. Maybe it's Jason Garrett after boneheaded play calling, poor clock management, bad decisions. Maybe this is the year that he redeems himself and this team redeems itself for the past failures since 1995, where they've had opportunities and failed. Usually with the Dallas Cowboys, and this is, I'm going to give you my honest feeling. It used to be whenever we played a game, even if we were playing really, really well, in the back of my mind, it was always, how are we going to lose it this time? What's going to happen? Is it going to be a fumble by, say, DeMarco Murray? Is it going to be an interception from Tony Romo? Is it going to be the defense can't stop the other team? Is it going to be an Aaron Rodgers that makes a miracle play? Is it going to be poor clock management by the coaching staff? Is it going to be we're passing too much in the second half when we're up? Is it going to be a crazy call by the official, the catch, no catch? It was always, how are we going to find a way to lose these games? And no matter where you are in that game, it could be fourth quarter with 6 minutes left and you're up by 14 and you were scared to death that we would find a way to lose. The second half of this season, I haven't had that feeling. I've actually felt good about the team. We went into Philadelphia. I wasn't worried. I wasn't stressed. It's like I knew we were going to win that game. Played New Orleans, same kind of feeling. And going into the playoffs, at least that first game, I ain't scared. And I don't think this Dallas Cowboy team is. because they want to play. This is a different team than the ones that have failed in the past. The rosters have turned over. These are young guys that are hungry, that don't give a damn about what somebody else thinks. That's a family that's out there playing for each other. And brother, when you fighting a family, you fighting somebody. So with that being said, it's time to turn out the lights, because this party's over. I'll see you guys in the morning.